Hi y'all, it's me. I'm here with a project share today. I am going to be using one of Scrap Diva Erica's dies called the File Folder die set. And this is Erica's logo, and then that's her information if you want to go check out her shop. And anyhow, I decided I wanted this file folder die the minute I saw it because I've always had a love of mini books and that kind of thing. And when I saw a file folder, I was like, yes, I can't wait to get it. So I ordered it and I got it. Then I got it and I looked at it, and this is the die set you can see here. And I'll explain a little more about it in a minute, but it comes with all these different pieces. There's some layering pieces in here, pockets. These all move. They're just here just to show you. There's tabs and there's goodies. So anyway, when I first got it, I was looking at it and I kind of really couldn't figure out how it all came together. And I think my reasoning for that was that when I heard the word file folder, I'm immediately thinking, file folder with a tab, blah, blah, blah. Well, you get the folder and you get the tabs, but you have to use it a little bit differently in order to get the tabs on the outer portion to make it look like a file folder, if that's the design you're searching for. And without compromising the size of these panels, it's a little tricky. So I'm going to kind of show you what I made, and then I'm going to go ahead and give you some other ideas that I came up with so that you might consider purchasing this die, or if you already have it, you'll have some more ideas to play with. Just things that I came up with along the way, and I will explain this further, but let me show you what I created first off. I used the Simple Stories Bunnies in Bloom collection. This is from 2021. So I pulled it out of the stash and I created a small file folder mini book, if you will. And I really like it. It came out so much. Once I got my head around the die and I watched a couple of her designers do their thing, it kind of sparked some stuff in me, but then I kind of just went off and did my own thing. So anyhow, let's get started. So I have some sari ribbon right here tying this little booklet closed. I layered up some of the paper I stitched on there. This is a chipboard piece. This die cuts chipboard, some little pom-pom trim there. And then this says daisies, and it's a little piece from the set, and I put a tag behind that little pocket there. So I thought that was kind of cute to add there. If you look at it this way, you can see I have the word bloom on the tab there. And then the back is just plain. So let me go ahead and open this up and we'll see what I have created on the inside. And I'm going to also tell you how I put this one together because it's kind of different as well. So on the first page, when you open it up, you have this little die here. Now for this die, I used one of her pocket dies. It's not actually, it's a flap down kind of a pocket, but you can cut it off and use it as a pocket. And then I took one of the other pieces, which is a bar that you make slots with, and it looks like, here, let me pull it up, this one right here, and you can just make little slots in there. So I created a slot there so I could add the flower there, and then in the back I created a tag to go in the pocket using one of the dies from the set to do this edge here. So that's that one. I did some stitching, but if you notice, the pocket has some stitching detail as well. On this side, I made a double pocket with the way that I did this, I made it as two pockets. So I have some little tags in there, and I think I have another piece down in here, kind of got pushed down, the little tag in there. I'm going to pull those out because I want you to see the pocket. So you can see here I have two different pockets, and in this one in the back I have this little tag for journaling or whatever. Use some of the ephemera and whatever just to do that. Look at that little mouse, isn't he cute? And stitching, of course, and all that. So that was the second page. The next page, it's pretty simple. I just added some of the die cuts. Now here's that pocket. Now you can, as I said, if you look at the die, you'll notice that the bottom does not cut. So it actually makes it so that you can fold it down. I chose to do that on this one. I added some flowers, a piece of ephemera. This is a swing tab, and you get a bunch of those in this set. Here's a few, but that's the one that I used. the heart, okay, so I probably should have put this pocket the other way so that the heart would be right side up, but it doesn't really bother me that it's like it is, because when you open this and you swing it up like you're supposed to, then it's the right way, right? So this pocket also, or this flap, it comes with another piece for the layering, so you don't have to figure that out. And then you open it up, and what I did when I cut this, because you have to cut this before you glue it down to your base, I decided just to glue around the edges here so that I could slide a longer tag down in there behind it. See that? It goes way down in there. And that's just another way of using that instead of just the one area that's designed for. And then it has the heart there that closes. When you turn the page, I have another die cut here, and then I made this so when you put the pages together, there's this flap, and I'll explain that later, but I decided to use it as a little place to put a floating pocket in. And then I used one of the dies to get that pretty edge there, and I also used a die to get the edge here on this particular tag for this pocket, and then it just slides right back in there. Added some pom-pom trim, and on this side is just a die cut from the collection. On this one, and hold on one second, I'm going to pull it back. This one, it's so cute. It's a little gardening book, and I put one of the bits of ephemera, a little journaling card down in there, tucks behind that. And then over here, some die cuts, and look at this. Isn't that a cute use of this? Well, what is that, you say? Well, remember I showed you these earlier? When I cut it out of the pocket that I showed you ahead, it came out with this little extra piece, and I was just going to throw it away, and I thought, wait a minute, I could just hang some stuff on it. So I just basically glued down either end of it and then hung on jump rings the little tools for the gardening. And I thought that was super cute idea for that, to add some dangling stuff to your projects. Next page, when you turn, now the pocket or the flap is done the other way. This is one of the swing tabs, and I kind of bent the fingers to look like he was holding the little watering can there. So when you turn it and swing it, then this flap lifts up, and there you go. This one I did not make a tag for, but I figured this area could be for a photo or for journaling. I just put a little butterfly there, and then the swing tab goes right back over that. And then the last, excuse me, page, I just have a little bunny in a pot. I thought that was really cute to go with the seeds and all that kind of thing. There you can see that back tab and the back flap. Really fun to make this, and I'm going to point out one feature to you really quickly, so that you can see the way that I got my book together is you can see all the different pages. I layered one on top of the other to get that look, but there are other ways to do it, which I'm going to show you just now. So let me set that to the side, and let's start. The first thing that I did to create this back part, now remember I said if you cut the die the way it is, and then you cut the tab, it's going to make the space to work with smaller. So I just went ahead and cut my own paper. I did it 5 inches tall by 5 3/4 inches wide. And then you're going to be scoring down here and a tab here, and I'll explain that just right now. So let me go ahead and get that out for you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these tab dies right here, and I'm going to get my paper that I just gave you the measurements for, and I want my tab over here. However, you can put it anywhere you want. I just want it right here. Oops, wrong side. Got to put the cutting side face down. So you have to be mindful of where your papers are. I'm going to go ahead and tape this down, and if you give me 1 second, I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine so I can show you what happens when we do this, because I want you to be able to put this book together by yourself. And give me 1 moment here. I try to leave everything kind of set up ready to go, but it's kind of hard when you do stuff like this on camera. Okay, so I ran it through just like this on my machine. Now you're coming with this, you can just throw that little piece away, and as you can see, you have a little bit of a tab and then this piece here. I personally wanted to have that piece removed, so I went ahead and I brought in my little trimmer right here, and I lined this up right here, kind of right there, so I can remove that extra side there. And I'm going to go ahead and just slice that off. Well, maybe not. Of course, the cutters don't work when you want them to work, and you're trying to do something and it messes you up. And see, I cut right into my tab. Just ignore that. But anyhow, that's how I did the back cover. And now, in order to make it be able to attach, I went ahead and I took my scoreboard, my little tiny scoreboard. Sorry, let me grab that. And I turned this on it so the tab was to the left, and I scored it at 4.5 inches. So we're going to go to 4.5 and just do a score line right there. That is going to be where you're able to attach this cover to the front cover. The front cover, when you cut it out, it should look like, let's see, it actually looks like this, and it has 2 flaps on it. If these dies might look the same size to you, but they are not. So one's bigger than the other, and one has 2 side flaps on it right here, and the other one has 3. 1, 2, 3. So this is just one that I cut, and instead of cutting it like this and then having to cut off one of the edges, when I laid it on my paper, I just made sure my paper went to the edge like this so that it didn't have to cut that tab off at all. It just cut the bottom one for me. So that's how I did that. So then this piece becomes the front, and you basically are going to glue it. In my case, I did it like this. I laid them all on top of each other, and I glued them like this because I wanted the side to have those different colored that I showed you earlier. But you could just glue it so that it's like, you know, fits like this and has a little bit of a gusset if you so choose. I'm trying not to move it too much, but it's so hard, you guys, when you're showing this kind of stuff. But there you go. So that's how you can get a little tiny gusset on there if you so choose to have one. Also, another thing I wanted to tell you before I even did that, do I have one here? No, I have one here. Before that, if you just wanted to make a bunch of those, you could, and use them as dividers in a organizer that you might have your stamps in or your dies in. So you could use these as divider cards, which is really cool as well. So for mine, as I said, all I did was I took that one cover that I scored, and I started taking all the pages that were going to go in my book. You could see I folded the flaps and I just stacked everything. And then when I got to the back, I added the back cover, and ta-da, it was done. Well, it should go this way. But then I added the cover and it was done. That's how I did that. But if you want to do it another way, I did the same way I did the back here. You can see it's the same exact thing that I showed you. I have the pages glued in here, one by the other, and I have a 1-inch spine on this one. It's 1 inch by 5 3/4. So basically, I just attached the front cover to the spine, the back cover to the spine, and then I added in the pages, and the pages will go in like this, like that. They'll go in there, and then you butt up the next one to the back of this one, and so on and so forth. I believe this 1-inch spine will just hold comfortably the 3 pages. So if you want to do more than that, you might want to consider a fatter spine. But that's how to get that look. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to be off camera. That's how to get that look so that you can see you have more room to play with. The other die that's in here, the one that's the 3, that one, it is basically, you fold in the 3 sides, you can glue it down, and it becomes a pocket, where then you would take one of these particular dies, perhaps any one you want, but you could cut it this way so it would give you a nice insert opening, or you could turn it this way if you wanted it to go that way, and the same for all of these. Or you could use it and put a tab and then just have the tab there. There's so many ways to use this particular pocket, so that's how that piece works. Now there's also a couple of other, aside from the divider, there's something else I thought about. I thought about using it as a pocket for a tag. So I basically cut out a long strip. I used those dies, one on this end and one on this end, and simply folded it up. You can glue the sides, and then you'll have obviously a place to put a tag, which is so cute. Or you can also do it like this as a page in a book if you want to add it to something else. So try to look at this set as all the possibilities of the things you can do with it. The last one I want to share with you that I thought about while I was using this was this here. And this is, I took one of the edge dies right here and one of the tab dies, which is the one that I was using earlier. Oops, the one I used earlier, this one here. I use this one to do this edge. I cut this strip to match the size of this die right here, and then I cut strips and I stapled a couple together just for this purpose to show you. And actually this perforation part, it's really cute because you can make a coupon book, and then you just, well, you just can just tear it out like that, and you have a little coupon book, which I thought was super cute. So look at this die as a playground of fun things you can do. There's so many ideas. There's so many different ways to use this. I just wanted to share my ways with you so that you would have some concept of how to play with it, where to begin. So anyhow, I think that's all I have to share with you today. I want to thank you so much for staying with me. I hope this wasn't too all over the place, and I hope you enjoyed my project. Until next time, do what makes you happy. Bye for now.